You are now listening to another episode of the Renegade Podcast. And this episode is a second interview with LOBO, who's a YouTuber, conspiracy, truth, or content type of guy. But again, as you've seen, he's been diving into sort of different types of content that's not really conspiracy related. It's going to be great. It's going to be, it's been a while since we spoke. A lot of things happened in the world, so it's going to be fun. So, yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. It's going to be really, really exciting, man. Really exciting.
What up with you, man?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Bro, I'm doing really good right now, bro.
Glad to hear that.
I just, it's funny. I think it was a month ago. I just graduated from Humber for broadcast radio. So, yeah.
Shit, congrats, man.
Yeah, my convocation is going to be in a couple months, so it's going to be interesting for sure.
What are you going to do with it?
That's a great question. I've been trying to apply for some jobs and internships. Like, this is one, hip-hop station. I think it was 98.1, in Toronto, so that's another option. Or I could just, my podcast is doing pretty well, so I could just go all in with that. Just use the degree I have as sort of a kind of a resume type of thing. So, yeah. So, what have you been doing recently? I know you've been uploading more WWE content. I know you talked about this last time we spoke that you're sort of pivoting, but what sort of caused that shift in content? Like, what caused it?
For one. It was something I noticed always we get excited talking about it during the stream.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that was fun talking about wrestling. And at the time when I first started talking about it, I wasn't watching wrestling actively.
Yeah.
At the time. Well, I used to when I was younger, but I was taking a break from it.
Yeah.
And then I just started watching it, closely. One of my best friends, he's into it. He knows a lot of the ins and outs of things.
Yeah.
He'd tell me about the shit and I slowly got into it, especially after WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
With the Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns story. And I was like, let me tap in and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, this is the worst era of pro wrestling ever. But I do appreciate having a better understanding of the business and why certain things get a certain way, even if some of the decisions are stupid.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm not really, again, I'm not really tapped in wrestling either. But the amount of wrestling memes I'm seeing on my timeline on Twitter and Insta, I'm like, is wrestling peaking right now, popularity wise? Because I thought it was kind of dying out, and now it's back in the forefront now. Why do you think that is?
It's definitely what's the word? It's less popular now. It's more niche for sure. It's just the accessibility is higher because everything AEW is on Mac. WWE, Raw, and Netflix. There's third-party streams out there that you can watch all this shit on.
Yeah.
So it's all out there. They got a TNA Impact, one of them Amazon, them free Amazon channels, something like the live TV option. Yeah. They got a TNA one that just plays nonstop TNA shit. Yeah. On a loop, Hardy Boy shit from 04. Could be some shit from last year, just on a loop. So it's just endless content. YouTube, they got WWE shows, marathons of matches. Just a few. Yeah. So it's more accessible.
Yeah, that's
but the quality is ass.
What do you think was the peak era of wrestling? I would think it was probably when The Rock and John Cena were at their peak in the WWE. Is that a correct take or?
Nah, that's when Cena and Rock was peaking. Well, for one, they didn't peak at the same time. But when they was feuding the first time, that was the PG era. Those matches, the first one at least was good. The peak era is Attitude Era.
Okay.
Ruthless Aggression is shortly after that, the early 2000s, when Brock, Randy, and Cena were all first coming into the WWE.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say it's only gotten worse.
Why do you think that is, right? Because I remember there was a time where people thought that shit was real, right? And now it's fake. People embrace that fact, right? You would think they would put more effort into making it more theatrical or making it more plot based. What do you think went wrong? What's been lost in translation?
Hold on one second. Girlfriend calling me.
Oh.
I'll call you back.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of intermission. I just was watching Bayern Munich game and Club World Cup, and yet another pointless tournament. But against Auckland, some of them dudes over playing over there, part-time guys, they lose 10-0. They're even playing a full lineup. I mean, come on, man. I mean, Bayern. Jamal Musiala just came off the bench with a hat trick. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's another guy. I'm like, that guy could win the Ballon d'Or, man. Like, there's a lot of talent there, a lot of ability, and I would honestly think he's getting close to that. I think there's another gear. I think there's genuinely, like, he was having the best season of his career before he got hurt, and also, I think Bayern Munich would have probably made a final. Now, would they win against PSG? I'm saying no. You know, but I was in that whole thing like that. But, I mean, the Desmond Bain trade, though. Hey.
All right, I'm back now. What was the question again?
I asked, so the question I was asking was, like, what do you think has caused the WWE to sort of have its decline, you know? Because you would think, because like before people thought it was real, now people embrace the fact that it's fake. So you would think they'll spend more money on the plotting or getting better people. Like, what do you think happened?
It's a mix of a lot of things. When TKO bought out WWE,
yeah,
it watered down the product. You see ads stamped on the ladders like Slim Jim, Fireball and shit, the tables. And you see it in the ring, it's like a UFC match.
Okay.
That combined with the fact they're chasing viral moments, like that's why you got Logan Paul getting pushed because they know he generates cheap heat. People hate him because he's a shitty human being.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he gets views with Impulsive Podcast.
Yeah.
That's why you see them with YouTube, people like I Show Speed getting these viral moments.
Yeah.
And there's no real follow-up. It's like there's no long-term booking like Triple H says. It's all very last-minute like Vince would do.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we got to get this moment. It's crazy if John Cena turned heel. But we ain't really got shit as a follow-up that goes along storyline at all. And then you got wrestling podcasts where they give you the ins and outs and tell secrets, industry secrets. So you get to peek behind the blind, so it takes away the mystique behind it.
Yeah.
And now WWE's killing it themselves by incorporating what the IWC is saying about certain things. Like, see, I've noticed they've been using John Cena to talk shit to the IWC, Triple H them. Especially on SmackDown with the R-Truth thing.
Yeah.
He said something else. I forgot what it was the other day. But he said some other slick shit, and I just remember people making videos about this.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, like, again, I say, like, I'm not, like, a wrestling expert or anything, but one thing I find very interesting is, like, I feel like we live in a world that is WWE now. We see it everywhere. Everybody's trying to chase that viral moment. Everybody's trying to start a beef. Everybody's trying to, and there's no like long-term plan with this. Granted, because I think people now think in the now, right? But the flip side to that is like sort of, again, 10, 15, 20 years from now, like, again, a lot of these guys are going to be washed up. Because their stick it lasted a flicker, which to them would think that will get all this sort of kind of endorsements and money, but again, the well just dries up underneath their feet.
Yeah, and they overcharging for shit too. Like, I remember just seeing what the price of the tickets was at SmackDown that came here in Knoxville.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much does it cost? I'm just curious because I heard they've been charging an ass load. Like, they was charging 40 bands for a seat.
Oh gosh.
For exclusive seats at WrestleMania, like the VIP shit, 40 fucking bands. Crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to pay that to watch the fucking wrestling.
Okay.
Shit. But no, it was like $900 something if you wanted to sit like near ringside.
Yeah.
At them seats like close behind the barricade. If
you
wanted to sit behind the announcers,
yeah.
I think they was running like $600 or something.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, hell no.
Yeah. You know, the other aspect I want to sort of talk about is like, obviously, like, you know, Hulk Hogan's sort of downfall. Like, even like, I'm not even a wrestling fan. He's one of the first names I would think of right? Because he was that ubiquitous at his peak, that knowable, that commercial at his peak. What do you think caused it? Because obviously people say, "Oh, it became a Trump supporter." Yeah, but like I think he was already on that spiral long before that, right? So, what do you think caused it?
It's a symptom of giving a shitty individual power.
Wow.
That's all it is. Like Hulk Hogan lied about saying he was almost the lead guitar in fucking Metallica. He was like, "Who's playing into garage, bro?" And they just liked the way I was riffing. I'm like, "Nigga, shut up! Ain't no way in hell you was damn Metallica."
Yeah, that's interesting. But so sort of moving on. There's that. Obviously, the Super Bowl last season. I mean, I remember you did a short right afterwards, after the game, saying that the Chiefs dynasty is dead, and I thought, I don't know about that. I thought maybe you were kind of playing with the algorithm with that. Do you genuinely believe that, or I know you think it's scripted because but then again, like, what do you think is going to happen next season and beyond for the NFL?
Oh, yeah, that shit done. They dynasty over with Kelsey. I think it was his 13th year.
Yeah.
And I think Reed going to have one more. Yeah, that shit over with, bro. That dynasty shit is over with. You got, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 2 rings out of it. My math right? No, 5. 3 rings out of 5.
5 and 3, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a dynasty. If you win 3 championships in a 5-year span, that's considered a dynasty in my book.
So, but what's the next storyline then? Like, I don't, like, what's the next storyline then? Who's going to win the next couple? Like, is it just going to be like the NBA where, like, there's, 4, 5, 6 different champions?
I think it's going to be more NBA.
Okay.
Chiefs got one more in them, but as far as being a dynasty, no. Okay. It's going to be like the NBA this year. It's going to be some team we don't even fucking expect. Maybe Buffalo out the AFC, but until I see them beat KC, I don't believe.
There's one guy I think, I really think, granted, maybe I'm higher on him than most. I really think Baker Mayfield is on that Drew Brees type of career path where I would not be shocked if they win it next year, which I think would be pretty cool.
No, bro.
Huh?
This shit ain't happening. I'd like to see Baker win, but that's not happening. You can't outdo Tom. That's okay. Kind of the thing. It's like LeBron with the Cavs. Ain't nobody gonna win another ring. Or at least I don't see anybody else win another ring after he won one in Cleveland.
All right.
Especially coming back 3-1. That's why I don't think we're gonna see another 3-1 in the finals. You can't.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, outdo certain stars at certain things. Like anybody outscored Kobe's 81. Well, it's 100. We've never seen video footage to know. LeBron, he went to 8 finals in a row.
Yeah.
Did a 3-1 comeback. Kobe after the 81 game and a 3-peat. Michael Jordan 2 3-peats. I don't think anyone's done that since.
Yeah.
Besides his teammates.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that are gonna keep the certain people.
So if you're gonna because people have suggested maybe the Eagles might become the dynasty after the Chiefs. Do you think that might happen, or do you think that's a red herring?
Not happening. They probably this year gonna be a down year, but they gonna have.
Okay.
After that, they gonna be contenders and shit like they usually are.
All right. So who do you think is gonna win? Like, you don't have to say which team, but what's position you're kind of leading on?
I'm still riding with honestly, I'm saying Green Bay.
Huh?
I'm still riding with the Packers.
Packers? Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I could see it, but Jordan Love, I like Jordan Love more than most, but he gives me that vibe, if he was a character in a MCU, he's like what? He's like Falcon or Ant-Man. He could have his moment, but he's not going to become the main guy. That's what I'm trying to say. Not so he can't win a Super Bowl, but again, there's a lot of factors into that, right?
Yeah, I ain't saying he's going to be the face of the league. I think he just got to clean up the interceptions.
Yeah.
And they'll be straight, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Offense and defense, because them receivers went down. They was fucked.
Yeah. You think,
do after that?
do you think Travis Hunter, there's one guy I think could be the next face. I think Travis Hunter will change the NFL, even if he was bad. I just think somebody trying to play both sides of the ball, consistently, game to game. I don't think we'll see that. It'll be like Ohtani. But even then, it's a different dichotomy, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Hunter. the face of the league right now is Patrick Mahomes. I ain't gonna change for a while.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about like the Shador Sanders thing? Because seeing that in real time, like that kind of shocked me. Like I understand you probably want to go in like the first 10. I thought you'd be like, I thought the Steelers, like I'm Steelers, I thought we were gonna pick him up 20th pick. Very easy selection, and he dropped to the 5th round. I'm like, what? Like, is this like a motivation type of thing, or is this something else going on?
That's a humiliation ritual. They don't like the way how Deion acts, and Shador do act cocky and shit. They don't like that coming in the league talking about what team you gonna play for, who you not gonna play for. You see how that shit went with Caleb Williams with that same shit. He wanted ownership as a rookie coming to the league. Like, I want a percentage of the ownership. Like, nigga, that's not how this works. These are old white racist owners. They are not gonna go for any of that bullshit.
Yeah. So obviously, I saw you do a couple. I don't know, a couple. I swear you did a post about this movie called Him. You must have saw that trailer. That was that was gnarly. I was watching. I love Sinners, by the way. I'm like, what the hell, like. But I liked it. Like I was like, ooh, it's a little different. Are you gonna watch it or?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that movie. Like, cause they showed a lot. Like that's. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about him. But they showed a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen a sports movie that went like that. Not that I can think of.
Yeah. That's like, because I saw you mention like, this is like dumb disclosing certain things. Like, I don't know about that, but I feel like, do you think this is like a peek behind the curtain, or do you think this is just another like Hollywood type of hoopla thing?
Nah, they finished it. They taking the whole curtain down. Ain't no peeking shit. Like, hey, motherfucker, here's what we've been doing for years, but it's a movie, so it's entertainment.
Yeah.
So some people are like, it's just entertainment. That's just what's homeboy named Jordan Peters? Nah, that's the white dude.
Jordan Peele. He's producing it.
What's his name? Jordan Peele. Thank you. Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just him being eccentric and all that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he did make Us and them.
Because I haven't. Now this is just a different take. I was thinking about like, what if I'm Muslim, right? I don't really believe in what I'm gonna say, but it's been thrown around, but like by other people. But what if this life is the humiliation ritual? Just think about it.
I've never thought about it that way.
What if think about the most messed up things that have happened in your life. Right, all the screwed up things, the bad people. What if that is the humiliation ritual, and you finding that out is the way to get out, right? Because I feel like,
I get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. You know what you just described indirectly and didn't even realize it.
What?
You might have realized it.
Huh?
Pledging in a fraternity. That's what I think of when you said that shit.
Yeah.
I don't look at life like that because there's too many highs in life. No, even if you have like a shitty life, there's still some highs in life.
Yeah.
For it to all just be one humiliation ritual.
I feel like, also I saw this other take. I don't know if this person was trolling or whatever. I saw this take. What if this life is like you're born, even when you're born, your soul has already been sold. Right?
Like you already going.
Meaning like how can I say this? Right? So it's again like because I don't know if this is a theory I saw or whatever, but I saw someone say that like before like all of like humanity was sort of made, there was a council of people or council. It was sort of like the Illuminati before the Illuminati, okay? And God was part of that equation. And he got pissed off, and he pitched, like, humanity, he never wanted to create humanity because out of love. He wanted to create it because of the justification of his existence and of sort of the part of this board, right? So when he got that power, he essentially erased everything, right? And then, then you could just sort of fill in the gaps from there, right? And it would explain why, again, think about how many people die every second of every day, right? Like that's just been normalized, and I never really got that, Like, why is it normal for millions of people to die every single day? Like, that's not normal. But people think it's normal. Oh, it's just life. Like, I don't think so, man. I think there's something else behind that.
I don't know. I guess we personally haven't lived long enough to really understand life on that level.
Yeah.
As to say why we all die. But that is a good question, though.
Right?
I basically just say it's all just phases of life. Like, since our spirit live on, this is just a chapter of life.
Yeah. Because, like, again, like, people talk about, like, because I seen these questions be raised in comment sections of some, I even see some of that in some of your more popular videos. And the one thing I keep saying is all free will. I'm like, how is something a fair test, right? If you're not allowed to do the test, right? Just think about how many people die before they're born. Right? Think about how many people die, right? They could be walking on the street, get hit by a car, they died. Right? It didn't get any, like, again, they were just starting out. Right? Like, just think about that. You know, it's just, something's not right. Like, I'm not saying, like, you know, God is evil, but, like, I don't know, there's some things that are some kind of, like, you know, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things we'll never really know the answer to.
Yeah.
Fully.
And it also will make all this sort of kind of conspiracy, you know, secret society stuff kind of a distraction, right? Because you think about it. What if... Because he allowed all those things hypothetically to happen, right? You know, what type of loving God, or not just God, just loving being in general, will allow for these secret societies to be put in place, unless he put them himself, and he powered those people himself to destroy humanity or mislead them or whatever, because of his own vindictiveness, his own pettiness or whatever. Which is like, again, like, I'm not saying that's true, but it's an angle I don't see people really talk about like that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't talk about it. They're probably not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because of the ridicule and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, do you think, like, so let's just sort of go back to, because the one thing about that trailer of him that really caught me was the main guy, not Marlon Wayans, but the main guy looks like Patrick Mahomes. Is that a coincidence, or like, like,
you might be on to something there.
Yeah.
I remember he was on the episode of Atlanta.
Yeah.
That,
I saw him there too.
Episode.
Is that like, because it's funny enough, that script was in development for a long time. So the original writer, I forgot the guy's name, but this original writer, I think was a Cowboys fan, right? And he wrote this script for this movie, and it was titled Go. And I read through that script. It's actually, I think it's available online. They might have taken that down, but I read through it. It is, whoa, it's wild. Like,
is it wild in that trailer for him?
It makes that the trailer makes the script look tame, but some of the stuff I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm like, this is crazy, right? And it's like, again, it's kind of like Black Swan and Substance, and it's kind of like has that Constantine type of vibe, like the third act specifically of that movie. Look, I really think I had a hot take on Reddit. Do you use Reddit?
Yeah, time I do.
All right, I had a hot take on Reddit that this movie will be the Get Out of this year. If they just, again, if it's a good movie, it will cause that type of discussion. Now, will that discussion be productive discussion? I don't know. Because I could see, again, I'm imagining the videos, bro. Black Balloon, Truth Is, like all these videos, and those guys are going to miss the point, right? I think, you know, one of the issues I have with the sort of conspiracy community in general is that a lot of the guys that are making this content, making these theories, a lot of them think really small. They think about America, right? Which makes sense, right? America is probably the most influential nation in human history at this point, right? And what they do, what y'all do over there affects everybody. And I understand that. But that's just a weird way of like thinking how world events are affected, right? There's no conspiracy channels about Canada. That's not about immigration or whatever, right? There's no conspiracy channels on the Middle East. Well, that's not related to scripture or whatever, right? There's no...
I bet there are, but they just suppress because it's not...
Yeah.
It's not as trendy in the algorithm to talk about Canada policies and shit going on in Canada versus America.
Yeah.
Or whatever trendy world country they got on the other side, like Ukraine, China, North Korea, and shit like that.
Yeah. You must be seeing the Iran-Israel thing going on. What's your thoughts on that?
I just look at it as controlled chaos.
Yeah.
There's a what's that movie called? I got Jay Farrell and I think it's called How to Fake a World War or something like that.
Yeah.
How to stage a world war.
Yeah.
It came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
That's what I think of anytime I hear about any of this war shit. It's a business.
Yeah. It's so like it to me it's like I think about the Gaza situation, and that's been going on for years and years before October 7th happened in 2023. I'm like, how could someone, like, why isn't, again, I'm getting a little existential, like, why isn't anybody, like the divine, or why aren't they not stepping in? Like, innocent people are dying, children are dying, right? And it's like, you just allow shit to play out like that. Like, that's, because imagine you're running a company, right? And the first half of the building is burning, and you don't care because it's just not my areas of expertise. Like, you'll be fired on the spot. You'll go to jail. Like, that again, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, they just look at it as a business. They say, "Oh, it's just a worthy sacrifice for a greater cause." It's bullshit they always say about wars.
Yeah,
America been doing that shit for years.
Yeah, I mean,
decades, really. That's why we go to other countries and we don't fucking leave.
Yeah.
We ain't got no business in this shit with country A, but for some reason our military's over there. And we are there for years and decades.
Yeah. It's so funny because this clip's went viral recently. Do you play Call of Duty?
I used to. I don't play it no more.
So there's this like 2014 Call of Duty game, had like Kevin Spacey as a villain, unironically enough.
I know which one. Was that Advanced Warfare?
Yeah, Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, I did play that game.
There's this speech. He talks about democracy. It's going super viral recently. I'm like, and I hear it. I'm like, oh. Like, he's the villain of the whole thing, right? And he's like, again, like, he said something very interesting. He said, like, these countries don't have the fundamental building blocks of a democracy, and yet, who do we think that we're going to come in there with our own fundamental principles or whatever, thinking that's going to change
tell them how to do their shit.
It's just like, you know, more and more as I'm thinking about the world, more and more I'm like, man, maybe this is a prison. Like, you know, like I seen that theory be thrown around, but like, just, I know like you can control what you can control, but like there's certain things that happen to you that you can't control, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the balance, right? It's sort of like, how can I say this? It's like, I'll propose something, right? It'll be like, so, just obviously, you know, a lot, sort of your channel, you talk about sort of sacrifice a lot, regardless of sort of certain individuals, right? And I was just thinking about, like, what if, right, you were guaranteed a spot in heaven, right? You can go to heaven right now, right? Like, right now. But you have to sacrifice somebody that you love or your friend. Would you do it?
First thing I'll do is I'll be questioning the hell out of that shit.
Okay.
Like, why I gotta give up somebody to do this shit if it's supposed to be good?
Yeah. Like, what if God said it? Like, he showed his face, say, hey, you want to be in heaven, you have to sacrifice someone that you like or love or whatever.
I'll need some heavy convincing if that was actually.
Alright. What if somebody that you don't like?
See some wild shit, like the sky would have to part, or that some shit would have to happen if that exact request was asked. I'd have to see some crazy shit in the sky.
Yeah. What if it's somebody that you don't like?
What if I had to give up somebody I didn't like?
Yeah.
As fucked up as it is, that decision would be a whole lot easier. Seriously.
Okay. I'm not actually like, okay, so that's kind of a little thing I thought about was like, I feel like most people would do it without question, which, I mean, think about it, right? Most people would do that without thinking twice. If it's somebody that they didn't like, they'll do it right then and there. They don't have to think about that, right? So, to them, it's collateral damage. It's justification, which, and that's the thing about sort of human psychology is like, you can really like control someone, and you don't have to like be near them. You don't have to touch. You don't have to do anything to them. Just the power of words will again literally hypnotize people, right? And I think about that when I see Trump, when I see Putin, when I see all these people. Like they've done some horrible things. They're horrible people, but their supporters are so rabid, right? And I see something similar going on with Kendrick Lamar. Weirdly enough, right? Again, this is so weird because like, did you listen to that Lil Wayne album that came out?
Unfortunately, that shit was hot garbage water.
Okay. Right? Everybody is Dougie on Lil Wayne, right? And this is not like, back in the day, whatever, right? From like Hobson fans or whatever. No, everybody is trying to rewrite history of him. And for what? All he said was, hey, man, I wanted to be part of the Super Bowl halftime show. You guys are acting like he literally said, bro, death to America. Like, again, that's just silliness. I know all of that's just online BS, but like that just didn't sit right with me, right? Like I'm not even like a Wayne stan. I know his place in the hip hop hierarchy all the time. I know how much he's meant to multiple generations of people, including my generation as well. Why do you think again people have now turned on them for no real reason?
Recency bias.
Yeah,
it's trendy. That's why.
Okay.
Even though I've been saying since like 2015, Wayne fell off. I've been saying that like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because he really fell off after the Carter 4.
Yeah.
I was like, actually after Carter 3, there was shades of when he did that rock shit. He did Prom Queen, he did the rock album with Eminem.
Yeah.
All that shit, that's when it started. But he still had it.
Yeah.
The rap shit. But with Carter 4, that's when I was like, I don't know. Something a little too mainstream right now.
Yeah. That recency bias is interesting. Do you think, like, it really feels like now, like we're sort of living in a post hip hop era now, in a sense of just like, because if people don't, I think there's something I don't know, man. Like, there's something. Like, do you feel something's very off about Kendrick just as a person? Like, something's very dark about him. Like, I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me, but man, like, this kind of a person that was like a massive fan of his music back in the day, right? Now it's just I look at him now, like, man, something really rotten going on, man. I can't really point a finger at it. Everybody's like fucking bowing down to him now. It's just like that's a whole different issue.
He's been like that the whole time, though. To be honest,
huh?
I'll say that darkness you talking about, he really been like that for a minute.
Yeah.
It's just him, somebody like a J. Cole, they know how to hide it. Yeah. Especially J. Cole, because J. Cole just come off like a regular person. He don't attract a lot of attention. He don't wear flashy jewelry, flashy clothes.
But I also think that's just an act. Like, a lot of... I look at Kendrick and Cole, and even Drake. Not Drake. I see Drake's... I feel like the one thing I say is, like, Drake will just tell you who he is. It's just up to you if you want to accept that or not. I feel like Kendrick Cole has spent so much time and money trying to convince people something that they're not. People, again, can't see that, or they can't look through that sort of veil. Like, when someone shows you who they are, you believe them. I feel like there's too many instances where, again, I seen, Kendrick say some wild shit. Think about, like, the whole, like, N-word concert fiasco. Right? Think about that. Mm-hmm. And she said a line, and we just forgot about that. We just said a line on Mr. Morale, and we said, hey, he's forgiven now, guys. Like, just, come on. I see you guys still make fun of Chance the Rapper because he dared to mention his wife on the album. Like, bro, grow the fuck up, man. Like,
well, he did it on every song. That was the problem with him.
Yeah.
He did that shit on every single song.
Yeah.
And it's like, that topic is going to get old really fucking fast.
Yeah. It's just...
But J. Cole, you say that his thing is an act. I don't think it's an act, per se. I'm going to put it like this. These niggas do kind of fucked up shit in their free time.
Yeah.
Rituals and all that stuff. But some of them still had them similar personalities. Like if Meg Thee Stallion acts like an entitled bitch, she's probably an entitled bitch.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, if he's... Maybe not Kendrick, but like Wiz Khalifa, if he's usually chilling, laid back, and like smoke weed, maybe that nigga really like to be chilling, laid back to smoke weed. He just happened to do some fucked up shit, sacrificing people, goats, and gay shit, and whatever else. That's just really more so what they hiding. Someone like Kanye West, people like that, then it'd be a little different to decipher because they act so erratic.
Yeah.
One day versus the next.
Yeah. You know, I feel like, again, you know, it's one of those things, like, it's so interesting that, like, you know, one side can do something and people cheer for it, but when the other side does it, and they're this, they're that, I think about, again, like, there's this one, you know, I can't say a story, but there's this one sort of take I saw, and you know what I'm talking about. Peter Rosenberg, this is back when Damn dropped, and he said, man, I don't know after this album, you know, I don't know, you can't say that Kendrick's not the GOAT, whatever, right? And this is, you know, just recently biased and algorithmic engagement farming, whatever. But one thing I'm just thinking about is that all of these people, right, I really think it's an ecosystem where a lot of these radio hosts, a lot of these conglomerates, guys like Lyra Cohen and Lucien Grange, and I would throw in Dr. Dre as well. For some reason, you know, Dr. Dre did some lot of wild stuff, and we just like, hey man, he's just that cool guy from NWA. Like, again, he's part of that too. But again, people don't want to face the facts on that.
You notice Dr. Dre been quiet as fuck during that Diddy shit. We ain't heard a damn thing from Dr. Dre. You hear stuff about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Maybe Rick Ross. I know the thing went viral with him and Diddy were kissing on stage or whatever. But like there was a song called Three Kings, and I think another called Freemason that Rick Ross had on God Forgives and the album dropped in 2012.
Yeah.
And I think Three Kings, it was him, Dr. Dre, and Jay-Z. And then Diddy had a joint mixtape with Rick Ross called like the Ferrari Boys or some shit like that, and it was back doing a gay relationship shit. But yeah, so notice who's quiet. I'll just say that. Notice who's been quiet.
Yeah.
And I said with Kendrick, it's funny. Granted, he really don't like Drake. Like, that ain't no bullshit. That it's really funny how Kendrick and this Drake beat popped off right after the Diddy shit started.
Yeah.
And took spotlight away from that and put it on Drake.
Yeah.
And then we back to talking about Diddy. And then Jay-Z get brought into it for a little bit. Then we stopped talking about Jay-Z magically. Back on Diddy again. Whoever's being brought in now, like Kanye West. But yeah, Dr. Dre been quiet as hell.
Yeah.
Staying low.
It's also there's this thing that, I don't want to interrupt you, but there's this thing about, again, I have a take, okay, and I don't know if you would agree with this. I really think TDE and OVO are one and the same. They're both sweatshops for their main guy. They really are, bro. I swear to you.
I don't agree.
Like, there's a video out of somebody from one of guys part of Kendrick's team, or whatever, and he said, "Man, we got better riders at PG Lang than they have in OVO." Yeah, and I'm like, "What?" And that video got taken down. Somebody posted on Reddit.
PG Lang is probably more like a sweatshop for Kendrick.
Yeah.
For Baby King and shit. I ain't heard nothing from him in a minute.
Yeah.
But more so for that. But TDE isn't. TDE, they usually space their albums out like 5 years apart.
Yeah.
And a lot of their artists actually have a real fan base, so they can get away with that shit. They do things most record labels would never dream of doing, like Atlantic Records with the artists they sign, like the Cardi B's and the Boss Man D-Lo's and shit. You really think they could go 5 years without dropping an album? People give a fuck? No, they don't have anything of substance. They don't have a real fan base.
Yeah, it's like, I think about, again, because it's so weird. Because like, why do you think that people are now just not now, but why do you think Kendrick for some reason can't get properly criticized if you say something wild or whatever? Like, it feels like there's this impenetrable like iron dome around him, and it's always been like that with him.
It's these new Kendrick fans, I suppose. They act like Kendrick just started rapping good. Like, nigga, where y'all been at since 2010? Like 2009. Like,
yeah.
The TD mixtapes, Black Hippie. They don't know nothing about none of that shit.
Yeah.
They probably know Overly Dedicated and Up. They don't know about the C4 out mixtape where Kendrick covered all of Lil Wayne's projects.
Yes.
They don't know about that.
Yeah.
They don't know about No Sleep Till NYC. They don't know about none of that shit.
Yeah.
So,
because
there's a lack of historical information.
Yeah. And also, it's I don't know. I had this little theory I was thinking about recently, and I'm like, because somebody mentioned, but I think you brought this up, that you saw someone mention that Kendrick Lamar had like sort of a developmental deal before he blew up, and I thought about this, and I don't know why. I watched Oppenheimer recently, great movie by the way, and I'm like, what if, right, Kendrick is Lucien Grange's Manhattan Project. Now, hear me out for a second, right? Take sort of like go back in 2010, right? Think about who were the main guys in hip hop, right?
Drake,
Kanye,
J. Cole, Kanye,
Wayne, Jay. Those are the 3-4 guys. Drake was just blowing up, right? Those are the 3 guys. Lucien. Again, there's a saying, Lucien's looking at this situation, right? He's looking at Lear Cohen, and he's seeing he's really cool with Jay and Ye. He's like, man, I want someone like that. Somebody I can control, somebody I can dictate what career, what awards they get, and he starts thinking, bit, I'm okay. You know? Hip-hop hasn't had a GOAT contender in a while, right? Because this is during a time where people... Because Wayne to me, Wayne's always been a little bit polarizing in terms of his perception, right? There's people who are diehard Wayne fans. They say he's the GOAT or whatever. But there's people who say, man, Wayne's trash, yada, yada, yada. But there's people in the middle, I'm like, Wayne's amazing, but there's certain things that sort of hold him back, right? Kanye's Kanye. At that point, he was already a legend. Jay been there since he's been there, right? Similar thing as well. His perception started getting more polarized, because, again, the billionaire stuff and sort of illuminati allegations and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sees, okay, what part of the country has had what part of the country has not had a GOAT contender in a while? It's the West Coast, right? Because, look, I think the game historically is underrated, but, again, he shoots himself in the foot way too many times, right? Musically and even outside of that. For him to really be like...
outside of music, too.
Yeah, I'll say that as well. There's other people. There's Exhibit. He's cool, but he's not he's not chasing that. Dr. Dre doesn't even write his own raps, so he's not part of the conversation, right? He's like, okay, there's this guy named Kendrick. He's making some buzz. There's some mixtapes. There's something there. I can work with that. And then, Section 80. And then I bet you Kendrick and Lucien met before 2011. I bet you there was a meeting. I don't know if he was there, but he said, okay, we can control the narrative with hip-hop, the discourse with hip-hop, because the internet was blowing up. Right? Maybe they knew, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But they probably saw it was heading towards a certain direction. It's okay, let's just steer it away. Right? Because in the 2000s, everybody was eating. You got producers topping the charts. Pharrell, Timberland, they literally were owning all of the charts, right? They're releasing solo songs, and they're topping charts too, right? You have T.I. and all these other guys. You have Andre 3K and Outkast and Big Boy and Gucci Mane and all. Everybody was eating. Sure, there was beef. Sure, there was animosity. But I don't think there was, people didn't hate each other as they do now, right?
That was really the start of the internet era anyway.
Yeah.
And in 2010, the West Coast already actually had a movement, so it wasn't just Kendrick. The West Coast
it wasn't just him, right?
For real.
He said,
that was Tyga. That was Tyga in 2010.
But Like
that was Tyler the Creator, Hobson.
Yeah.
What's the homeboy name? Casey Veggies, Kid Ink.
Yeah.
YG. YG been around
Nipsey.
a long ass time. People don't Ty Dolla $ign, Nipsey, Schoolboy Q. Like,
yeah.
There was a lot of J-Rock. There was a lot of niggas in the West Coast popping off at that time.
Yeah. Right.
So they had to do Odd Future as a whole.
Yeah, Odd Future as a whole, right? And he said, okay, let me start, moving some chess pieces, I'll hit up Pharrell. I tell him about him. Hey, there's this guy, Kendrick, send him over. Right? And next thing you know, Section 80 comes out, and there's a little bit of buzz. Then Good Kid City back comes out, and he said, you know what? Drake's under the same imprint. Okay, let's just link up Kendrick. It's going to be a hit. And it ends up being a hit. Poetic Justice, right? The Backseat Freestyle. And next thing you know, rest is history. Right? And then but then something changed. Right? That 5-year hiatus allowed, I would argue, UMG and all these music labels, they knew that their time as the sort of corporations controlling the music industry were done. Streaming and all that. So how do we consolidate power? How do we do that? Oh, wait, let's start buying off people who talk about hip-hop. Right? So there'll be certain things they can't mention. There'll be certain things they can only mention. Right? And piece by piece by piece, I really think Charlamagne the God, his sort of rise, I think, sort of spelled the downfall of hip-hop discourse in general. Just think about it. Right? He's now trying to rebrand himself as this intellect. He should sort of rebrand himself as this guru, intellectual wizard. And I'm like, what? It doesn't make any sense. But when then you start seeing people that he associates with, start seeing certain takes he's had. Oh, like I know you're real boss, right? Type of thing. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It's everything to do with the people that are in positions of power. It's a position of power, right? That's what all this is. It's control and power. And Kendrick Lamar is the perfect way of doing that. Because, again, there's sort of this pro-black and sort of imagery that he shows, this sort of revolutionary type of vibe you get from his music. But if you start digging into it, it's like, oh, yeah, he's full of shit, too. But, again, people are not going to break it down like that type of thing.
That's because he's safe. It's not like he claimed to be a street dude. He happened to grow up in the rough area. He don't claim to be no street dude.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too, that I saw some... Because I saw someone, start digging around, not just Kendrick, but sort of TDE sort of connections. They have a lot of connections to Chicago. Like, they have connections to, legit street guys in Chicago. And during that time, in 2012 to now, Chirac became a whole meme. Which to me never made any sense. Because, man, these people are dying en masse every weekend. And we just think it's funny. Again, that's just messed up. To me, at least. But maybe it's their way of getting rid of people that they don't mess with type of thing, right?
As far as him being from the Chicago town, I think it was his uncle was from Chicago.
Yeah.
And his uncle knew Larry Hoover and he knew Top. And that's how Kendrick got signed and shit like that.
Yeah.
What they claim happened.
Yeah. But do you think, at some point, because I really feel like if Kendrick has his downfall, it will kill hip-hop in the mainstream for good. Doesn't mean it won't be great music. It'll be like rock, where you have to start sort of digging and actually digging through type of thing, right? Do you think that will happen? Do you think it will just be like this for the next little while?
I'll really say it's already kind of falling out of the mainstream now.
Yeah.
If you, besides the Drake, Kendrick, and a couple others, it's not really cool to be a rapper.
Yeah. Why do you, again, that's why, I see all these takes about, hip-hop needs a new superstar. They won't allow a new superstar. Because it's not profitable anymore for them. They can't control that person. They can't control the music that they make. They can't control the masters, the percentages, and the points. So they'll be like, okay, then we just end it. And we just replace it with AI. Now, this AI stuff is, you must have heard of Timberland doing his own AI record label. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's just adding another layer to the music industry.
Yeah.
Where it takes more other profit away from artists.
Yeah. Do you think that is going to be the new reality, or do you think that's just, trend or a fad or a gimmick?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the new reality.
Okay.
I mean, now every rapper, damn near every rapper sounds the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So let's pivot to the NBA. And I want to one question I want to ask you is this, because I know you've been on you think every sport's scripted, but you've really been on that NBA's rigged scripted thing. How do you explain the last 7-8 years then? If it's scripted, right, rigged, whatever, why would they start awarding teams that never won something? Why? Like, what's the thought process behind that? Because ratings are dropping, and it feels like the popularity of the sport is kind of like decreasing now because there isn't the next guy. There's Steph and LeBron, but it really feels like, there's nobody really after that in terms of just popularity. What do you think is really going on? What's the power play here?
Really, the main reason they do that, as far as having other new teams win, is just business. Getting more, more revenue for the city, especially if it goes in tandem with success in another sport.
Yeah.
Like how you noticed, I was on with that Kroenke.
Yeah.
On the Nuggets, the Rams, the Denver lacrosse team, the
Arsenal
MLS team, they all won. The Avalanche, they all won championships.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all just business.
Really? That's interesting. So, do you think this will be the new normal? Because it's already been the new normal. Do you think we're just going to be having this in perpetually? Or do you think we're going to have a new dynasty? And if it is a new dynasty, who do you think it's going to be and why?
Eventually, it's going to be a dynasty. I think it'll be the Spurs or Wemby.
Okay.
But as of right now, they're just trying to establish their younger guys now, like how they did Tatum last year, this year, SGA or Halliburton. Because they behind the 8 ball. They waited way too late to start wanting to promote new guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they expected LeBron and Steph to still be big draws. They would have probably expected them to be retired right now, especially LeBron. Like, do you think LeBron's going to have a retirement tour next year?
I think he retired 42. I think he's 40.
41.
He's 41 now or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's the league's fault for pushing him so many years well past the prime.
Yeah. So, there's another one I wanted to ask. Like, what's going on with the Giannis Bucks storyline? It felt like when they won the chip, it felt like, they might just rat off a couple more. But ever since then, they only won one playoff series. Just think about that for a second. I know, he's been hurt. But, that's crazy. Like, what do you think happened with that? Like,
a small market team won the finals pretty much, and the reason they won is because he's an international player, and that's been the whole agenda. If you notice, a lot of the MVPs since 2018, after Harden, all been foreign. SGA, Joker, Embiid, forgetting somebody, but they're from another country. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah,
but that's been the thing.
But why international players now? Why couldn't they not do that before? Right? Like, I know that would not have been possible back then, but is it really because of business? Because again, the numbers in the NBA finals, they haven't really been great. Like, I don't care about that, but again, the numbers really don't lie. So it's just business side, right? So what's really going on?
The numbers they showing is American rating.
Okay.
They have a higher priority. They really prioritize international. Like, how they say league pass, you can watch every game and all that shit.
Yeah.
But in America, most of them be blackout.
Yes.
Locally when they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's because apparently league pass is different if you're, say, in China.
Yeah. Or
another country. You have you're international. You actually can get all them games
they're
playing. And that's really all Adam Silver cares about is the international reach of the game. It gives a false perception that everything is hunky-dory and doing fine.
Okay. So, again, why do you think the NBA sort of discourse around their players and teams, why do you think it's just it's so toxic, it's so messed up? Like, I swear it was not like this 10 years ago. Even then it was kind of getting bad, but still, every single game, every single quarter is something else. Oh, Shea's foul baiting and Scott Foster this, and I understand there are legitimate gripes with that, but I swear we weren't doing this with Jordan and Kobe. I know, again, they were favored by the league as, again, So, what do you think really happened with that?
Analytics ruined the game. People started caring about stats more than anything.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. In what aspect, though? Because I know there's a lot of aspects of analytics and stuff, but...
The way the game's played now, people assume, just because so-and-so can shoot from the logo, they must be really good, or since that scoring is up and things like that, a player who back in the day would average maybe 13 points a game, now you're averaging like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And they're like, he totally took the 90s, man. He averaged more points than, say, Karl Malone or some shit. That's not true.
Yeah. Because I know you mentioned you did a short about, like, there's magnets in the rim, right? And now with all these different champions, you would think, like, okay, maybe they can favor one team or whatever, but it seems like when somebody wins a championship, they just fall off. Like, you think? Is this the same thing, or...
That's because they know they're going to be a betting favorite the next season. Especially if they keep a lot of the same pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Here's my hot take, okay? Whoever wins this championship, I know the series is tied 2-2. Game 5 is going to be on Monday. That's going to be crazy. But whoever wins this championship will be the new dynasty. Now, hear me out on Indy's side. I'm getting a lot of, like, 2019 Chiefs vibes from this Indy team. You know, there's a lot of similarities, right? Both main guys are light-skinned dudes, right? Maybe the league might, like, hey, you know, Halliburton might be the face of the league, maybe potentially, you know, Siakam is this sort of safety blanket. Kelsey, you know, not as good, but, like, you know, there's a little bit of... And Carlisle, again, Andy Reid, they're both offensive coaches. They're both, again, Hall of Famers type of thing. So, and Indianapolis arena is, like, insane. The atmosphere is crazy. It's like college atmosphere. Same thing with Arrowhead and Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there are similarities. The comebacks, the quote-unquote devil magic type shit, like, there are similarities. But if OKC wins, then I definitely think they'll go back-to-back by that point. They have the assets to go get a Kevin Durant or Giannis or whatever, not lose everybody on that team, so...
I don't think they will repeat, though, if they do win. And, yeah, as far as the dynasty, I don't think it'll be either of these teams.
Okay.
I think they saving that one for us, like a certain player, like the Wemby thing. I think that's what they saving the next dynasty for.
I don't know, man. I'm not... my thing with Wemby and the Spurs in general is that maybe that's maybe this reality that we're in the NBA. You know, the CBA now is people prioritizing depth and, you know, not just building a super team, whatever. I honestly don't think, right? I really think if you're saying what you're saying about it's being scripted is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't want nobody to surpass Jordan or LeBron. So this is their way of, like, you guys can have your chips, you guys can have your championships, but nobody's getting past Jordan and nobody's going to get past LeBron. So that debate will still be the main topic for years and years to come in the future. How do you feel about that?
Maybe. I don't know about that. I think whenever LeBron retired, they definitely going to start talking shit about some of that stuff that should have been out about him.
Okay.
But every era needs a GOAT.
Yeah.
Something to keep that GOAT debate alive. Next, it's going to be so-and-so versus LeBron, who's the real GOAT, or Jordan. Now he's back on TV and shit.
That's interesting. What do you think? Like, I mean, I was shocked by that. Do you think it's something to do with LeBron, or do you think it's something he wanted to do this whole time?
I think it's part of LeBron, and maybe it could be financial. They ain't really talked about it a lot, but Michael Jordan had a whole court case with NASCAR where they sued NASCAR going back to last year.
Oh, wow.
Over some charter stuff, team ownership stuff, basically, where they didn't want to agree to being part of the charter system.
Yeah.
Which would guarantee you a spot in the race, even if you crash during qualifying. So I would say that, and God knows how much money and court fees and all that shit, lawyer fees that would cost. he no longer owns the Hornets.
Yeah.
So I think partially he need to check to cover that case.
Yeah.
And he tired of people talking crazy about him.
All right.
This LeBron bullshit that he be seeing on ESPN. He's like, all right, man, let me set the record straight. Let me speak for myself now.
Okay. Now I'm gonna maybe like who do you think because I don't think Jordan's the GOAT. I think Bill Russell is. I'm not crazy for saying that because I again like 11 is more than 6. I know he played an era that wasn't 10 teams, but like when you're that dominant, when you win that much, it's you. It's not anyone else, right? And he set the foundation. Without Bill, there's no Celtics, and low key there might be no NBA. If you really think about it. Right? So, again, like I really feel like he gets shafted too much. It's just like, man, it's just too much aesthetic bias in the NBA. And just general. Right? 2 points is 2 points. It doesn't matter if you dunk it or you fade away or whatever. 2 points is 2 points. It's like, again, like, how you feel about that?
Depends on how the game was played.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, the jump shots looked crazy as hell.
Yeah.
The dribble styles were different. The way the offense was ran was completely different.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this. When basketball first came out in like high school and college, they used to not have a shot clock. So final scores, no bullshit, would be like 14. That's a high scoring game, was 14 points to like 10 because teams would just dribble the fucking clock down and shoot shots.
That's hilarious.
They got I don't know. I read some historical book on basketball and like the origins, the peach baskets, and all that shit when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And same with football. Just learning how the game evolved. Like Sammy Baugh, if I remember correctly, was the first quarterback to throw a forward pass.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was just laterals.
Yeah.
And throwing the ball underhand like rugby, because football is an offshoot of rugby.
Yeah.
That's and to make the game safer, so it didn't get abolished by Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think Jordan will ever be surpassed in the eyes of people, or will it be like a Babe Ruth thing where like hundreds of years later he'll still be the guy at the top?
I think that's tough. With the newer, younger generations of fans and shit, they gonna act like Jordan didn't do shit because they ain't seen him play.
Yeah.
Or if there's highlights, they probably saw his Wizard ones and assumed he was trash. So I think for now it's probably gonna be LeBron. That's who they gonna view, even though that's not even the right answer. Yeah, I'd say LeBron is the one they're gonna view for now.
Okay, that's interesting. I know you mentioned your dislike of LeBron quite a few times. It's just, the sort of 2 interviews that we did. When did that start? Was it something like, because I don't know what NBA team that you're a fan of. Was it just because of a divisionals thing? Was it always you never liked them or whatever? Like, when did that start?
I used to like him when he was first in Cleveland, but then when he started acting like a little hoe after they lost to Boston, when he left and did a decision. I didn't like the way, I understand the free agency. I wasn't mad Daddy left. It's the way Daddy did it. There was no need for this whole ESPN thing for a free agency.
That was funny.
That's what bothered me.
That was funny, though. That was funny. But, yeah, I can see. Here's the thing. I'm a Raptors fan, right? And the amount of times he busted our asses so many years, he still does. I can't hate him like that. I could dislike him, but I'm not. If somebody destroys my team like that, then they have to be like something else. Maybe the Raptors again weren't really true contenders until Kawhi came and then he left, and we've just been sort of cycling the same thing. But that 2018 series is still burned in my mind. I really thought we were going to win the whole thing that year. Granted, I wasn't a basketball historian or scholar, but I thought that was the year before we got Kawhi. It just destroyed us. That game too really just, bro. I watched the highlights the other day. And I was like, oh my, he was just really, he was toying with us, and it was just we couldn't do anything. And it also makes it worse that our players on their teams are going on podcasts saying, man, we couldn't stop. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no wonder we lost.
Yeah, he was killing their ass with the mid-range jump shots.
I don't know, did you hate him at that point, or did it like happen? Did it blew up when he went to Lakers and all that stuff?
No, that shit started when he went to Miami. The decision plus choking in the finals and shit after talking all that shit, talking about not one, not two, not three.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing like the cracks and shit in his image, or at least I was. And I was, I guess, quote unquote, hypnotized by LeBron, like his fanboys and shit are.
What do you mean by like cracks? Is it like
the bullshit narratives they say about him, like how he's a team player, he's just he got such a high IQ and shit. And it's like, if you got such a high IQ, you was savant. How the fuck is it that you have never played in a real structured offense your entire career in the NBA? If you so fucking smart, you should know how to adjust to any offensive scheme that any team is running. If you so fucking smart, you just savant. Why are you the all-time leader in tournaments?
I really feel like those stats are more like longevity stats, but I do see your point where like it's, you know what? I feel like a lot of those criticisms I feel like should also be applied to someone like Giannis. Right? Same exact thing.
Ain't nobody calling him the GOAT.
I know no one's calling him the GOAT, but like I've seen some wild takes about this brother. I know it's all Milwaukee fans. But like I see some, he's better than Tim Duncan. He's the best player in the world. He's not been out of the first round in 3 years. I swear to you, like anytime he goes up against a good team, his teams get destroyed. Kawhi busts his ass. G busts his ass multiple times. That's something people don't talk about, right? Tatum, multiple times. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, Siakam. Like, I love those guys, but like, come on, man. Like, and he's doing the crowning motion. That really pissed me off too. Like, what are you talking about, man? And then he has a losing 5 against the Heat, second round. But hey, he made the finals, so all of a sudden they're this all-time team. Like, bro, shut up, man. Like,
yeah, I remember at one point they were calling him the best player in the league and shit. I was like, nigga, how? He can't shoot. He's just big as hell and athlete. He's LeBron with the ability to be accountable. That's all Giannis said.
Really? Okay.
And more effort on defense.
I don't buy that either. He, like, defensively, he was never a good defender like that. Like, because there's this one game I saw. It was 2022 playoff series. It was in Chicago, Milwaukee. They won these. Milwaukee won 5. But when I saw DeMar DeRozan, there's this one game DeMar DeRozan had where he had like 35 plus points. All he was doing, he was destroying Giannis on the perimeter. He was shooting fadeaways. He was shooting right in his grill. I'm like, and Giannis was just standing there. I'm like, bro, put a hand up, my man. Like,
that's because Giannis, that thing, he's better than like chase down, block.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
be on the,
again, like,
perimeter. That's what.
It's just. Like, I don't know why no one's holding that man accountable, bro. He's the reason why Doc Rivers is the coach of that team. He wanted Middleton out. He wanted Kuzma. I mean, he wanted Drew and didn't want him. He wanted Bledsoe. Then now all of a sudden he didn't want him. Like, I swear to you. And he wanted Dame. And then for some reason, people are blaming Dame for the team failing when it's always going to be about the fact of Giannis. Giannis is the reason why Milwaukee Bucks aren't the Chiefs in the NBA. And hear me out for a second, because the Bucks and Chiefs history are really, really similar. Really similar. Let me break it down. So the Milwaukee Bucks first championship was in 72. And the Chiefs championship, the first NFL title, was literally the first Super Bowl. It was around that time, right? Similar history. They had great players, you know, they had runs.
No, they lost the first Super Bowl.
Huh?
They lost the first Super Bowl. I know they went, but they lost.
Okay.
Yeah, the Packers. Packers won the first 2.
Yeah.
Chiefs won the third.
Yeah. And, you know, similar history, there's, again, like, a lot of playoff disappointment. Then Milwaukee in 01, they almost went to the finals, and they kind of got screwed over by the referees and stuff against Allen Iverson, funny enough. And then they didn't really do anything after that. Like, the Chiefs, they're kind of, like, mid, but there's some good players. And all of a sudden, in 2018, Milwaukee drafted Giannis in 2013. But 2018, that's when he really sort of, his perception blew up, right? Mahomes' first year, right? They both went to the conference finals that year. Both of them boys won an MVP that year. Then the next year, that's when things sort of started diverging away, right? There's a stat that I saw that blew my mind. So the last 9 playoff games Giannis has played, full playoff games, he's been hurt and stuff, right? He's 1-8. The last 10 playoff games Mahomes has played, the last 3 years alone, 9-1. That should be like, again, that, like, I know football is different, all that. That's crazy. Like, that is crazy.
I don't really compare the two. I don't compare the two. Because the Bucks, they weren't consistently making the playoffs. Like, the Chiefs been making the playoffs well before Mahomes even got there. Well before he was at Texas Tech. Like, they was going with Trent Green. They was going with Alex Smith. And that was Mahomes' second year in the league because he sat his first when he had that breakout year.
Yeah.
Giannis, it took years for that nigga to develop. It was not an overnight 1-2 season. Nigga, it took like 5, 6.
Yeah.
Maybe not 6 years, but it was like good 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Because Jason Kidd was the one who helped develop him. Kidd was at the Bucks and he shouldn't have been fired, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, Jason Kidd was the reason he developed the way he did.
Yeah.
He still can't shoot, but he actually gives effort on defense, and he'll take accountability in a press conference and not throw his teammates under the bus.
I don't know about
now,
that.
Has he gotten a coach fired? Oh, yeah. No question. He got a couple coaches fired.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's kind of like annoying players get coaches fired. Ja got Jenkins fired.
Yeah.
Trae Young got like 3 coaches fired. I think Drew was one. Dude they had before Lloyd Pierce was definitely one because Lloyd Pierce told him to play defense. A week later, fired. Yeah, I forgot. I think Nate McMillan. Yeah, Nate said the same shit. You need to start playing defense. Fired, and Nate McMillan's a good coach.
Yeah.
And then they got Quinn Snyder, which is honestly a downgrade.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Like, there's a stat, like, you know, without, because I really feel like Mike Budenholzer, those years he had with Mike Budenholzer is clouding everybody's judgment on Giannis, right? Before Mike Budenholzer and after Mike Budenholzer, Giannis has, again, not won a playoff series. In the East, not in the West. You know, he's not facing Durant. He's not facing Steph. He's not facing, you know, Tim Duncan and them boys. He's losing his teams that he should be beating. And that, to me, I can't take a man seriously like that. I know he got a chip and whatever. But I see Aaron Rodgers' legacy being dragged through the mud. He has a chip. He has 4 MVPs. He's in Milwaukee. His team's literally based in Wisconsin. Jalen Hurts, same thing. Not the same level of perception, but similar thing as well. Right? Russell Wilson, he won a chip. Everybody disrespects him now. You know, to me, like, I get what you're saying about LeBron, but I feel like a lot of that also should apply to Giannis too. And there's one thing he did that really just like, okay, I can't, like, again, I'm gonna hate this guy forever. It's that fucking press conference he did when he said this season is not a failure. When you lose in the first round in 5 games, get an 8 seed that almost got knocked down in the play-in. But like, his refusal to admit failure is the reason why they keep fucking failing. Right? How many excuses?
That ain't all on him. They had injuries and shit.
I know injuries, but my friend, Mahomes won a Super Bowl with a sprained ankle. Right? That we're comparing you to, like, the best. We're saying you're a top 15 player of all time. We're saying all these things. Right? I'm sorry. Kobe Bryant was making finals. He has a broken finger. His shoulder's all busted up. He had to drink fluid for his legs. Right? I'm not saying it's all his fault, but, like, you can't be using injuries as an excuse. Because you consistently keep getting injured that you're unreliable. You might as well not be out there.
No, I'm talking about his teammates, not him.
Yeah. I mean, I also want to bring up, it's like, again, Milwaukee, for some reason, has this tendency of overrating everybody and disrespecting everybody at the same time. Right? Anytime Chris Middleton has a good game or a good stretch of plays, oh, wow, he's a top 10 player. He's better than Tatum. He's better than this. Like, what? But when they lose, oh, he's just not that good. Oh, he's just a spot-up shooter. Yada, yada. I'm like, what are you talking about here? He dropped 40 in the finals. He averaged 25-plus points in that postseason that they won. That's what I don't hear people talk about. Right? You know, Brook Lopez. You know, he had all the pieces. You know, Giannis has all those pieces to become the next dynasty or face of the league. And just, I don't know, like, it's been the worst case scenario, though. ever since that title. I think that title is the worst thing that happened to his career. I really do. Right? Because, when you only make 2 conference finals in your entire career, that's a problem. You play 11 years. Right? That's a problem. Even if it's scripted or not, that's still a problem. Right? How are people saying that you're the most dominant player in the league and you're not even dominating at things that you should be doing well? Right? That's how I feel about it.
They coach Doc Rivers, so their feelings are already at a certain point. That's all together. So there's not much they can really do.
So like, how can I say this? Do you think international soccer is as quote unquote scripted as other sports, or is it the same thing?
Yeah, I'd say it is.
All right.
Just less boring now.
Okay.
It's not like hockey though. Hockey deals bullshit in the playoffs.
Yeah. Speaking of hockey, do you like it? Do you enjoy watching it?
It's cool to watch. It's just not something I go out my way to watch a whole lot.
Alright.
I like the fast paced aspect of it. I just don't like the long stoppages.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That kind of loses me.
Yeah, I mean, like the intermission should not be taking 10 minutes. That's kind of absurd. I know that hockey is a very physical sport, but they could cut that shit in half, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I watch college baseball before I watch a hockey game sometimes.
So, what do you think? The Battle of the World Cup is going to be held in U.S., Canada, and Mexico next year. Are you planning on watching it actually in live?
Well, I mean, if it's on and ain't shit else on, I might watch it.
All right.
I don't know. I like playing soccer. I really don't care about watching it like I used to.
All right. So who do you think is going to win next year, World Cup?
I have no clue. That's how much I don't watch, or keep up with soccer as far as who's I guess the good teams and shit like that.
All right. That might be another short or dive in content you might I'm probably not going to agree with what you're going to say. But that might be another, again, there isn't really a market for that. So that might, again,
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Or, shit, really racing besides me.
Yeah.
They just had the race in Mexico. Yeah. The Xfinity race in Mexico City. And guess who? A Mexican driver, Daniel Suarez, just so happened to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I do think, though, this might sound I'm probably going to sound delusional when I'm saying this, but I think, hear me out. If they're healthy, think about the storyline. Let me introduce the little storyline, right? Canada, right, is one of the hosts. Their soccer team has been rising the last couple of years. They used to be the butt of all jokes in CONCACAF. Right? Anytime we got a result against anybody, bro, it doesn't matter if some nation with a couple thousand people, no disrespect, we celebrate in the streets. And now we have actual players playing. There's one guy I think you should keep out for, Jonathan David. He's really good. He's one of the best strikers in Europe type good. And they're saying he might go to Juventus. I don't know if you heard of them. They're playing Serie A. Italy.
Oh, I know that. They play in Italy.
Yeah.
They got the black and white jersey.
Right. And there's a lot of storylines. Alphonso Davies plays for Bayern. He almost went to Real Madrid last season. Right? So think about this, right? I'm going to think a little bit bigger. Think about how, you probably saw, some of the clips of Kendrick Lamar performing at Rogers Center.
Yeah,
think about this. Look, I'm going to sound a little crazy. What if FIFA's okay, Drake's being humiliated right now. He probably gonna be on a halftime show in the final. Let's throw him a bone. Let's say, you know what, man? We're gonna push Canada through to the final. Then if they win, they lose, we don't care. They're in the final. right? If Canada wins that final, and he's doing the halftime show, you don't think right afterwards he's gonna start popping off about Kendrick right afterwards? Say, hey man, where's your team at? Type of thing, right? And the thing is, if they win, Kendrick can't say anything, right? Because they're saying that the U.S. soccer is kind of shambles right now, right? I mean, they've been losing friendlies left, right, and center. Team morale feels like it's very low right now. Pulisic is not even playing the World Cup, and it's like, man, like what's going on here? So that might be another angle, and also that would be a first time champion, right? Maybe they want to do like something like a Leicester City, this is probably only happened once, so let's give it to them, and that would be really. Knowing myself, I would go crazy on that. But probably it's not going to happen. But I would love to see it, though. How you feel about that?
Smaller country winning it? I don't know. World Cup usually be like this, the same power team, per se.
Yeah.
They end up in contention. They usually have a feel-good story, and then a couple years ago, I guess it was 10 years ago now.
Morocco.
When, what was it, Iceland was the talk of the World Cup. I think it was the World Cup or the Euro.
Yeah, it was the Euros.
Might have been the Euro. Yeah, Iceland was the talk of that shit. And I think they did make the World Cup.
Yeah.
I think the next one or whatever.
Yeah.
It was the Qatar one or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Or it might have been before that. But anyway, Iceland was the feel-good story. They had Ghana and the South African one.
Yeah.
So they'll do that, but winners, they know it's the same. Your friends.
So you don't think Canada might not get the feel-good story?
I ain't saying they ain't going to get it. I'm just saying I don't think they're going to win it.
All right. How you? Because I don't know if I asked you this question before, but how do you sort of deal with criticism within the community that you're in and outsiders as well? How do you deal with that criticism about your content, or do you even care about that at all?
I really don't care because at the end of the day, man, it's usually the same comments, same type of comments and shit like that, and a lot of us don't care about the drama and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I got caught up into a few years ago and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I just don't beat my drum.
All right. Do you have a job right now? I'm not trying to huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you work? Are you rent? Are you commercial? Are you? Wait, what do you do?
Oh, project manager.
Is construction or
signage industry.
Okay. Does it pay good?
Yeah, it's real hectic, fast paced, and chaotic though.
Do you talk about this stuff with your coworkers?
If they open minded to it and say they might bring it up or something, or bring up something like that.
All right. Have you ever came across a witch in the forest?
Say a witch in the forest?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you ever came across something like that in general? Delves into that stuff?
Closest thing I came to was a 34th degree Freemason.
Oh, wow.
Who happened to be a fortune teller at a bar. That's really about it.
Did you talk to him, or were you okay, I'm not trying to get caught up with this?
No, I asked him. I might have mentioned this story before, but I saw his Freemason ring and stuff the first time I met him. I played dumb, act like I didn't know what that was. What's that ring right there? Told me what it was, and he never gave me his government name.
Huh?
But no, we just talked about a bunch of different stuff, just mermaids, and baby flat Earth. Talking about a good amount of shit.
Flat Earth, that's interesting. I don't know if do you believe in that? I'm not
I believe it is, but it's not the way people assume is people talking about a pizza or some shit.
Alright.
I think it's more I was always say a snow boat.
Okay.
Basically in a dome.
Alright. Alright, it's interesting. Alright, so would you ever do a video or a short sort of I don't know about attacking, but like breaking down like religion and the flaws and within that sort of. Would you ever do something like that?
I know I've talked about it, but as far as breaking down each one, it never really crossed my mind. Because at the end of the day, everybody gonna have their own beliefs and shit like that. So who the fuck am I to tell them what they right or wrong? That's honestly.
Would you do something about like, you know, Islam? Like something like that? Like not like attack it, but like your opinions on it or whatever, or conspiracies about it or whatever.
On the what again? Islam.
You know, Muslims and stuff.
Oh, Islam. I thought you said the slums like India. I was like, what? Oh, Islam never really I guess crossed my mind.
Alright. Would you be open to like becoming a Muslim in the future? I don't know, like, would you be open to that or no?
I guess I wouldn't rule it out, but it's never, I guess, necessarily crossed my mind.
Have you ever been mistaken for anyone else? Where you're like...
Yeah.
Okay, who?
Let's see. From the joke perspective, what they say look like Jerry Judy. What's the one they said? Richard Sherman.
Oh my god.
R-Truth. Anybody, any nigga with dreads, basically. I've gotten it at some point. Michael B. Jordan when he was killed.
What?
My dreads are shorter. Yeah, when my dreads are shorter, I had my shit styled the same way as Killmonger with that swoop to the side thing.
Alright.
So I get where they coming from.
Alright.
Other than that, I have been mistaken for other street pharmaceuticals.
Oh.
Like that. Or a street pharmaceutical.
Okay.
Because we look the same, dress the same, same height and shit, different person.
Alright. Have you gone on a trip in your life or recently or whatever?
Yeah. Like I went to Vegas.
That
was a fun time.
Yeah.
I think I was.
Okay.
I might have just turned 22 at that point.
Alright. Yeah.
Got to see different parts of the country.
Alright. How can I say this? How would you feel, like after you die, and you wake up? How you feel if you end up in like hell or purgatory or something like that? What will your first reaction be?
Where the fuck am I?
Okay. That's interesting. The reason why I brought that up, Mero, because there's so many like comments I see on sort of these religious channels, and they all act like they're gonna go to heaven. They all act like they got the Willy Wonka golden ticket. I'm like, it's not that easy, my guy. You know, it's not. Again, like this is just arrogance. It's arrogant. That to me is like, come on, man. You really don't know, right? I mean, how funny would it be if, again, the people you talk about, they're in heaven and you're seeing them from hell? Like how like that would be wild. But hopefully, like, you know, that doesn't happen. But like, you know, it's something to think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you recently watched a movie?
Yeah. What was the last? I watched Accountant earlier today.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good one. I still have to see the second one.
Did you watch Mission Impossible?
I've seen the original. I don't really care for like unnecessary sequels.
Okay. Did you see the Last of Us season 2 or season 1 or whatever?
I saw part of it. That's the one that got dude to play Mr. Fantastic, right?
Okay.
Pascal, what his name is?
Yeah, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of it. I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
Right.
It wasn't what I thought it was. But maybe I was just I pulled the trigger too soon.
What side of the political spectrum are you on? I'm not going to judge you if you say whatever, but like...
I really don't, I guess, have a side. Well, it's left or right. I would say outside.
So you're in center?
Yeah. I look at it like the people running shit. They all pieces of shit in bed together. Yeah. There is obviously some infighting going on. Yeah, things like that. People double cross each other like they do on House of Cards.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm not going to side with, say, the conservatives or the Democrats. Shit.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Like, what do you think is the future of your channel in general? Do you think you see yourself making this stuff 10, 15 years from now, or do you think we'll just move on to something else?
Maybe something else 10, 15 years from now. I'd say probably maybe something else by that point. Because at some point you get bored of making certain content.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
All right. If Jesus knocked on your door, what is the first question you're asking him, and why?
Why are you at my door?
That's funny. That's funny. That's interesting. Wow. How did you feel about Robert Griffin III and Ryan Clark? They were beefing a couple weeks ago. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that was just like, do you think that was legit? Or do you think that was just engagement forming, something like that?
It could have been. There's also two clowns making some shit about race that really isn't. I'll be on threads and I see all types of dumbass shit. Talking about Angel Reese is the first to get 500 points, 500 rebounds, so she's not a bad basketball player. And it's like, you'll see comments like, she's shooting 29% from the field. Oh. Most of those rebounds are from her own misses, and then someone will show like clips.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, she's working hard. I'm like, bro, she is terrible. She can't dribble. She can't jump. Can't do a layup. The fact that you call yourself a pro basketball player, male or female, you cannot do a simple fucking layup.
Yeah.
Is a huge problem. I could do a simple fucking layup when I was a kid.
Yeah.
How is this woman 20-something years old?
Yeah.
Can't do a goddamn layup.
Yeah. Why do you think people are like so passionate? Like, I understand, like, Angel Reese, it seems like it's like it. Why do you think there's so much like controversy and just discussion? Even though, like, I'm gonna be honest, she's not that good. Like, why is that? Is it just a Twitter thing, or is something else going on?
I think the league needs fake drama to get interest, because it's like their viewership went down when Caitlin Clark was down. It was like viewership was down 55% across the board.
That's crazy.
Teams games viewership went down. I don't know if it was over half. Lane was over half, over 50%. Might be like 65% or something like that.
Yeah.
So that equals out to roughly they lost over 1 million views.
Yeah.
When Caitlin Clark got hit.
Yeah.
And a lot of the players don't want to admit that she's the reason that there's eyeballs on their league now.
Yeah.
Like Brittany Griner getting mad. Oh, they're yelling at the games. Like, that's what's supposed to happen at the basketball game. Your fans are supposed to yell. But you want to play in an empty arena like it's COVID and shit? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it really feels like, and I also think the NBA has a similar issue where, like, they're listening to Twitter trolls and they thinking that's legitimate, like, feedback. That to me will never not boggle my mind, right? Just again, like, the one thing I would say is that, I think this would go away if Caitlin Clark, like, becomes, like, the GOAT. Something like that. Where, like, Angel Reese is just, she's part of her storyline, she's part of her career, but she's not the main focus. But if Angel...
She thinks she's the main focus, though. Let her talk.
Right? Like, but if Angel Reese becomes, like, a good player, or if she becomes, like, a superstar or whatever, then obviously that's gonna get more eyeballs on the screen as well. So it's like, it's kind of a, damn if you do, damn if you don't type of situation, right?
Yeah, I would say I'd much rather Caitlin Clark or any other, if they so hell-bent on this race-baiting shit for sports. At least use someone who's good. Don't use someone who's up. Just because the two played in college together twice in the Final Four. Yeah. Sure, she was good in college. She'd get away with it.
Yeah.
Not having to shoot, but, like, she's terrible. Just like, ain't no, is it Reese or Caitlin? What are we talking about?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but there was this trailer, this date announcement for Stranger Things, the last season. I think the last episode was like the last day of the year. Are you gonna watch that? Are you gonna tap in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm behind though. I need to finish the last episode of the last season where 11 fights Vecna.
Yeah.
I think I'm like halfway through. I saw that bitch for like an hour and a half. I was like, okay, I'm not taking a break on this one.
Do you like it?
I'm back into it. Yeah, I like Stranger Things.
Alright.
Hosting and everything, but this one's I gotta really like sit down and watch that shit.
Alright.
Like Invincible.
Because it's also I don't want to interrupt you, but it's also based off supposedly, like I don't think it's real, but it's supposedly there's a story. It's based off of Montauk experiments, right? Like MK Ultra, like that type of thing. But it's more extreme. Like people were like making like monsters out of thin air. I don't know if that's true, but like it is something though. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some truth to what they show on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my thing with that is like, again, a lot of that conversation is so American based, even though there's been cases like that all around the world of, again, attempted to mind control people, attempted like, there's a ton of that stuff in Russia, and I don't see that be brought up nearly as much, right? And also another thing is like, I think about like how much money that Saudi Arabia has, right? Trillions of dollars. You're telling me there isn't an Area 51 in that country? You're telling me that there isn't? Come on, man. There is. And also, I think if there's any country that an 11 type of person would exist, it would be that country. Because, again, you know, the news, sort of, the way the news work is that a lot of it is just state news, which they're not going to tell you the full story about anything that's not benefiting them, right? So they can get away with it, right? So, that type of thing, right? Who's your favorite character of that show?
Shit, that's tough. Oh, I like the Snaggletooth dude. He grew on me.
Who?
I forgot his name. The dude, the Snaggletooth. That's like older, but he used to look like a kid until he got it fixed.
Finn? Will?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. That's interesting. That you don't want my favorite is 11, alright? So but
yeah, 11's a good character too.
Are you excited for a new Superman movie coming out? It's coming out on my birthday, by the way. Same day as the Clips record. Again, you know, my birthday's pretty goated now, so
yeah, what is it, 7-Eleven?
Yeah. Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know how I feel about the Fantastic Four because they dropped the same day.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people talking shit about this. No, it's going to look like trash. I'm like, nigga, you don't know that. James Gunn, look what he did with the Suicide Squad movie. I thought that movie was going to be terrible, and then I watched it. This movie's actually really good. So
yeah. How do you feel about Zack Snyder in general? Do you like his work? Do you don't?
There's a lot of misses in them DC movies. I'm going to be honest with you. Whole lot of misses in that motherfucker. But it was a lot of politics and a lot of infighting, so
Alright.
I understand that.
Alright. Are you excited for
Batman movie is now?
Huh?
That's how that Matt Reeves Batman 2 finna be, because there's a lot of back and forth with Matt Reeves, James Gunn. I think Reeves gonna be out or something.
That'll be a shame that happened.
The follow up ain't gonna be.
That would be a shame, but are you excited for Tron Ares?
Like the Tron game with the motorcycles and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had a new game coming.
Yeah, Tron Legacy. You should watch Tron Legacy. You should do a video on that, you know? The hidden truths or whatever. That'll get you some views for sure.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about that movie.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's wicked. It's the soundtrack. That's the greatest soundtrack of all time. Video game, movies.
Someone told me that.
Yeah.
My friend told me because it was like Daft Punk. He said it's the best movie soundtrack ever.
Yeah.
Saying a lot, man. That's saying a lot, man. Sinners is up there.
Yeah, Sinners is... You must have watched that movie, bro.
Oh, Sinners was...
Huh? Yeah. I love that movie, man. And I was thinking, there's a scene, never forget this, there's a scene where Mary runs out of the bar and he has glowing eyes. I'm like, if there's ever a Paradise Lost, you heard of Paradise Lost? Joe Dante, whatever his name is?
Who?
Paradise Lost. It's a story about like the devil, but it's at his perspective, not like God or whatever.
I've heard of something like that, but not specifically.
I would love, if they were to do that story, I would love Haley Steinfeld to be like a version of the devil. That would be insane, right? That would be Oscar worthy. That would be something like, that would be crazy. I would also love her to be in, have you watched Constantine, Keanu Reeves?
Long time ago, yeah.
They're saying they're making a sequel, and he's coming back. Keanu's coming back, and I'm like, bro, if she's the villain of that, I'm pulling up, bro. I'm getting my tent. I'm tenting outside the movie theater, for like 2 days, bro. That's how hyped I would be, How can I say this? Out of all the music reviewers on YouTube and online in general, who do you think is most likely to be part of a secret society or whatever, and why?
Oh, DJ Academics.
Okay.
It's easy to say Fantano, but DJ Academics, because he's been around so damn long, and it's clear he get down on some weird shit.
Yeah. You don't think Fantano might be part of that? I'm not saying he is, but like...
I ain't saying what, I'm just saying, like, the most influential, like, I guess from a drama perspective, Fantano don't really be in no drama like that.
Yeah.
DJ Academics, we know he be in drama every month. It seems like every other month he be in some shit.
Yeah. Did you ever like Academics?
What happened to that whole thing with the girl?
Yeah,
the one where he was on live and the girl, you could hear her getting essayed or whatever like that.
That was crazy. I saw that. I'm like, whoa, that's not good.
I remember he ran to the back real quick.
Yeah, that was wild. That's wild for sure. You don't think Sean C? You don't think he might be part of that?
I ain't watched his stuff in a minute.
Huh?
I've never really got a weird vibe from him like that, unless he started doing interviews with a lot of these big name rappers, like sit down interviews and stuff, but just reviewing. Honestly, music is probably one of the easiest niche genres on YouTube to get big off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't take much.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes music.
Yeah.
And there's always something music related in it.
Yeah.
Some stupid drama, new album, there's always something to talk about.
Yeah.
What's the greatest album of all time?
Yeah. Is there like a conspiracy channel that you just don't mess with? For whatever reason?
There's a few. I ain't gonna go down the list of them. But yeah, there's a few. Hell, there are some people I've done deals with I don't even rock with anymore.
Why?
Well, it could be just like seeing that they might be messier than I thought, whether it be getting caught up in stupid beef over dumb shit, or whether they might have wronged me over something in the past, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Interesting. How do you feel about like these sort of cult people like Rashad Jamal and Nature Boy and they're not the only ones. There's a bunch of them too. Like, how do you feel about that? The sort of exploitation. How do you feel about that?
Well, I look at them as like wolves in sheep clothing.
Okay.
I think they've been exposed anyway.
Okay.
That's how I look at
it. All right. Wow. That's interesting. What is your favorite restaurant you like to go to? Like, in Tennessee?
Favorite wrestler?
Yes.
I would say probably Stockenberg.
What type of restaurant? Is it Mexican? Is it Cajun? Well, what's the...
It's really like burgers. But they got a bunch of different type. Like, they got shit you wouldn't even think of. Like, they got one called the Elvis. Like, peanut, like, toasted peanut butter with, like, fried bananas on it and shit. Yeah. I don't eat that. All right. They got stuff like that. They got mushroom burgers, Swiss, buffalo sauce. Yeah. All type of shit. They got some good-ass fried pickles, fries.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. What's your favorite album of last year?
Let me see.
Is it GNX or is it something different?
Fuck no, it ain't GNX. It's not bad, but it ain't all that.
Yeah, I know.
It's too mainstream. Favorite album. I don't think what I know. I had something on repeat. I cannot remember what the fuck it was.
All right.
Because I just go through so much. I think it might have been actually Empire of the Sun's new one.
You listen to Empire of the Sun? That's
Yeah, I've been listening to them since college.
Wow.
Like, I listened to a lot of, at least recently too, EDM music, new disco, shit like that.
All right. That's interesting. Alright. So we're nearing the end of the interview, and we're gonna play this little game. Alright. You probably know what I'm talking about if you see my more recent episodes on the channel. Is we're doing a little Q&A, okay? So again, do you know who drink champs are? I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, Nori,
alright. So he does there's a little section during the interview where he asks, kind of like, he sort of pits two people against each other. You have to pick either or, but the difference is there's no drinks, there's no both or neither. You have to at least pick one. You want to give a reason why or a story or whatever, you're free to do that, okay?
Okay.
Alright. DC or Marvel?
DC.
Okay. Wow. Tara or Jinx?
Oh, okay. I like where these questions go on. I'm going to go with Tara.
Who?
Tara.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Drake or Wayne?
Wayne.
Alright. Young Thug or Future?
Future.
Alright. Who's worse? Trump or Reagan?
Oh, damn. I'm going to say Reagan.
Alright. Okay. Who's worse? Illuminati or Freemasonry?
Freemason thing would be part of the Illuminati. But, Illuminati overall.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Ariana Grande or Mariah Carey?
Say Mariah Carey.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Kanye West or Kendrick Lamar?
Kanye.
Alright. Okay. Pharrell or Timbaland?
Pharrell.
Okay. T.I. or 50 Cent?
T.I.
Okay. Smoke Perp or Lil Perp? Or Lil Pump?
Oh, that's a lose-lose. Smoke Perp can produce.
Alright.
Give me Smoke Perp.
Alright. Travis Scott or A$AP Rocky?
A$AP Rocky.
Okay. Juicy J or Project Pat?
Oh, man. Oh, that's Project Pat.
Okay.
Barely.
Alright. Pusha T or Mos Def?
Pusha T.
Okay. Lupe Fiasco or Black Thought?
Lupe Fiasco.
All right. Need for Speed or Forza?
Forza.
Ronaldo or Messi?
Never actually thought about this. Ronaldo.
Okay. Interesting. Toronto or Chicago?
City or sport?
City.
Toronto.
Okay. Wow. Josh Allen or John Elway?
John Elway.
All right. Lamar Jackson or Drew Brees?
Lamar.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning.
All right. Tom Brady or Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
All right. Steph Curry or Magic Johnson?
Magic.
All right. Jimmy Butler or Scottie Pippen?
Scottie Pippen.
All right. Paul George or Tracy McGrady?
Tracy McGrady.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nikola Jokic or Shaq?
Give me Joker.
Okay. Wow. Rick Carlisle or Eric Spoelstra?
Spoelstra.
Okay. Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant.
All right. This is interesting. SGA or Giannis?
This is who I like more or who I think better.
Yeah.
This one who I like more or which one's the better player?
Which one's the better player? Who you think is a better player? That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, SGA.
Okay. All right. Anthony Edwards or Donovan Mitchell?
I'm going to say Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. Rudy Gobert or Ben Wallace?
Ben Wallace.
All right. Chauncey Billups or Kyle Lowry?
Billups.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan?
Kobe.
Okay. All right. Will Chamberlain or Hakeem Olajuwon?
Hakeem.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Mike Evans or Devontae Adams?
Damn. Mike Evans.
All right. Travis Kelce or Terry Holt?
Shit, it's hard to go against Kelsey now.
All right. Rob Gronkowski or Tony Gonzalez?
Give me Tony.
All right. Okay. Wow. Julio Jones or Justin Jefferson?
Oh, damn. Julio Jones.
All right. Star Wars or Mission Impossible?
Star Wars.
All right. Stranger Things or Game of Thrones?
Stranger Things.
All right. Breaking Bad or Sopranos?
Sopranos.
All right. The Wire or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan?
Tom Cruise.
Okay. Beyonce or Prince?
Prince.
Alright. Michael Jackson or Frank Sinatra?
Michael Jackson is not even close.
Alright, I don't know about that. Logic or Macklemore?
Who? Who's the other guy?
Macklemore. Thrift Shop.
Oh, Macklemore.
Yeah.
Logic.
Alright. Jadakiss or Styles P?
That's cool. Jadakiss.
Alright. Jay-Z or Nas?
Nas.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Kendrick Lamar's GNX or Drake's If You're Reading This It's Too Late?
GNX.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Millie Bobby Brown or Megan Fox?
That's a lose-lose, too. Millie Bobby Brown.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, she's a better actress than Megan Fox.
Huh?
She's a better actress than Megan Fox.
Alright. Okay. Neil Gaiman or J.K. Rowling?
Which one is Gaiman again?
He's the guy who made like American Gods. He made Sandman. Not Marvel Sandman. It's different Sandman. You got caught up.
I know what you're talking about. It's part of the I think it's part of the Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine. Yeah.
Who's the other one? You say J.K. Rowling? Oh, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, Harry Potter. Self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's easy, J.K.
Alright. Harley Quinn or Poison Ivy?
Poison Ivy.
Okay. Alright. Raven or Gwen from Total Drama Island?
Raven as in Raven from Teen Titans?
Yeah.
Oh, Raven.
Alright. Okay. Batman or Spider-Man?
Batman.
Alright. Iron Man or Thor?
Thor.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Zack Snyder or Michael Bay?
Oh, shit. I always think of the superhero shit with Zack Snyder, and I can't unsee it. Michael Bay.
Alright. Okay. Christopher Nolan or Stanley Kubrick?
Nolan.
Alright. Okay. Wow. John David Washington or Jack Quaid?
John David Washington.
Alright. Okay. Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson?
Denzel all day.
Alright. Quentin Tarantino or Brian De Palma?
What did De Palma do?
Scarface. He did a bunch of stuff after that.
Tarantino.
Alright, okay. Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese?
Scorsese.
Alright, okay. Nightwing or Red Hood?
Nightwing.
Alright, okay. Deathstroke or Deadshot?
Deathstroke.
Alright. Arca or Kazakhstan?
What's that one?
Arca, both of them produced for Kanye during the Yeezus era. Kazakhstan made a bunch of stuff with The Weeknd. You know, he's on his records as well. Arca also was a bunch of stuff with Addison Rae. I don't know if you know who that is. Maybe I should send that question.
Yeah, that was the one I was stumped. I was like, well, who?
Yeah.
I don't think I heard of either of them.
You should check them out. They're really cool musically.
You said it's called Arca, and the other one's
Arca
who?
And Kazakhstan.
Wait a minute, is that the one spelled with a G?
Yeah, G, yeah.
Oh, I done heard of them now. I guess them because I ain't heard of them other ones.
Daft Punk or Justice?
Daft Punk.
Alright. S.G. Lewis or Empire of the Sun?
S.G. Lewis.
All right. Charlie XCX or Tublo?
Tublo.
Really? Okay, that's interesting. All right. I don't know if you heard of this, but Ray or Rita Ora?
I know of Rita Ora. I couldn't name a song. Ray, I think I've heard of Ray.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Ray.
All right. Okay, good. All right. K-Tronada or Flume?
K-Tronada.
All right. Okay. All right. Ty Dolla $ign or Nate Dogg?
Ty Dolla $ign.
All right. Wow. Okay. All right. Wiz Khalifa or Snoop Dogg?
Two of my favorite rappers of all time. Snoop.
Huh?
Snoop Dogg.
All right. Snoop Dogg. Okay. Okay. Interesting answer. Wow. Ooh. All right. Burger or fries?
Burger.
All right. Pizza or fish and chips?
Pizza.
All right. Okay. All right. Jalen Hurts or Justin Herbert?
Jalen Hurts.
All right. All right. Okay. Zlatan Ibrahimovic or Robert Lewandowski?
That nigga Ibrahimovic. Oh, man.
Yeah, he's cold.
Yeah, give me Ibrahimovic.
All right. Okay. Pele or Maradona?
Maradona.
All right. Okay. Okay. Wow. Sean C. or the needle drop?
Sean C.
All right. Okay. Okay. Wow. Christian Bale or Gary Oldman?
Bale.
All right. Okay. Natalie Portman or Keira Knightley?
What is Keira Knightley?
She was in the Pirates
like?
of the Caribbean movies.
Okay. Natalie Portman.
All right. Okay. Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
De Niro.
All right. Okay. All right. Dave Chappelle or George Carlin?
Dave Chappelle.
All right. All right. Richard Pryor or Cat Williams?
Oh, I'm going to go with Pryor.
All right.
Fair.
Bernie Mac or Chris Rock?
Bernie Mac.
All right. Okay. Okay. Same can. Jason Tatum or Paul Pierce?
The truth, nigga. What you mean? Paul Pierce.
All right. Okay. Nick Wright or Chris Broussard?
Oh, Chris Broussard.
All right. Okay. Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith?
I was hoping you put Stephen A. against Jason Whitlock, so it'd be tougher. But that actually is a tough one, though. Skip or fucking Stephen A. Oh, I can't stand both of them.
You got to say one.
To keep the TV on for one,
yeah.
I'll probably listen to Stephen A. over Skip.
Yeah. Okay. Dak Prescott or Tony Romo?
They're the same.
Yeah.
Damn. Ah, shit. I must say that.
All right. Okay. Russell Wilson or Donovan McNabb?
Russell Wilson.
All right. Okay. Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre?
Dang.
Okay. Andy Reid or Bill Walsh?
Andy Reid.
Okay. All right. Bill Belichick or Sir Alex Ferguson?
How many does Ferguson have?
So Ferguson, for you now, he won like 13 Premier League titles. I think he has like 2 Champions Leagues. He's won a lot of stuff, right? Like Belichick, they're both kind of similar in the way that they set out their squads. Granted, Ferguson was more attacking. Belichick was obviously more defensive, so it's kind of an interesting dichotomy.
I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Ferguson.
All right. Aaron Donald or Lawrence Taylor?
Lawrence Taylor.
All right. J.J. Watt or Reggie White?
Reggie White. R.I.P.
Okay. Okay. Derrick Henry or Earl Campbell?
D. Hen.
All right. Okay.
Wait, didn't Earl Campbell? No, I'm thinking Eric Dickerson.
I said Earl Campbell.
Yeah, D. Hen.
All right. Okay. All right. Ooh. All right. I'm thinking. All right. Jamar Chase or Chad Ochocinco?
Chad Ochocinco.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. I'm thinking. All right. A.J. Brown or Anquan Bolden?
A.J. Brown.
Okay. All right. Kyler Murray or Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, that's tough. Tua.
All right. Okay. All right. Drink Champs or Club Shay Shay?
Club Shay Shay.
All right. Okay. 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 Rihanna or Britney Spears?
Rihanna.
Okay. All right. Billie Eilish or Lana Del Rey?
I don't listen to either of them, but it's Lana Del Rey.
All right. Okay. Miley Cyrus or Olivia Rodrigo?
I don't know who this Olivia chick is. What is she? I guess a pop
Singer, yeah.
I'm gonna go Miley Cyrus.
All right. Okay. All right. Justin Timberlake or Robin Thicke?
Oh, JT.
All right. Okay. Bryson Tiller or Brent Fayez?
Oh shit. Bryson Tiller.
Okay. All right. Steve Lacy or Daniel Caesar?
Steve Lacy.
All right. Knight Lovell or Sean Leon?
Who?
Oh, they're like 2 like Canadian rappers. They're kind of like legends of the underground. Like Sean Leon's been blowing up because he's been working with Kanye recently. So, like writing, producing, all that stuff.
I've never heard of him.
Okay.
Or the other guy.
Knight Lovell. Yeah, Knight Lovell's the kind of reason why X started rapping in the first place. Like, he heard a Knight Lovell song and he felt inspired. I think it was around 2014. Like, Constant Vegas, like, to me, that's a classic record. I think you would like his music. He's not mainstream. You know, he's not, like, he doesn't give off weird vibes as some of the other guys, so.
Does this stuff sound like, X with the yelling and screaming and shit?
No. It's much different, actually. There's aspects of that, but it's a lot like, it's like you take Al Farrell's Travis Scott and, like, mix it with, like, again, Bones, a little bit of, like, old school A$AP Rocky, a lot of 3 6 Mafia, UGK, a little bit of, like, Magna Carta, Jay-Z in terms of just kind of the sound. So you would enjoy. He's not lyricist or anything. He's not saying anything crazy, but just production and the atmosphere is insane. Especially, like, 2014 to, like, 2017. I think he was, like, the best SoundCloud rapper out. I'm just saying, so.
Well, he sound kind kind of sound like Suicide Boys.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm probably gonna go with him.
All right. Speaking of that, Suicide Boys or Yeet?
Damn. Suicide Boys.
All right. Freddie Gibbs or Tyler Creator?
Damn. Album wise, give me Tyler.
Yeah.
Rapping ability, that's Freddie Gibbs.
Okay.
Tyler.
Big Sean or J. Cole?
J. Cole.
All right. Okay. Chance the Rapper or Jack Harlow?
Chance.
Okay. Bun B or Pimp C?
Pimp C.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Airbnb.
All right. Ooh.
Well, my plan is to go. I mean, on the 5th to the 27th.
Okay. That's a good one. Okay, I'm thinking.
That's my time for you.
All right. Okay. Ooh. Thinking. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm also there.
All right. Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey?
Saquon.
All right. Okay. Wow. Thinking. Anya Taylor-Joy or Emma Stone?
Wasn't it Taylor-Joy?
Anya Taylor-Joy, yeah.
Do not know who that is.
All right. The Dark Knight or Avengers Endgame?
Dark Knight.
Okay. Dark Knight Rises or Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah. What was the first choice?
Dark Knight Rises.
Or Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Winter Soldier.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Yeah. Kehlani or Yosemite Shake?
Kalani.
Okay. Vibes Cartel or Peter Tosh?
I think I remember Peter.
Okay.
Bob's Cartel got some good shit, but I'm gonna go with Bob's.
Alright, okay. Supercat or Beanie Man?
Who?
They're both reggae artists.
I think I might have heard of Beatty Man or whatever, but
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Alright, okay. Alright, Bob Marley or Madonna?
Bob Marley.
Okay. Alright, The Godfather or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Alright, BoJack Horseman or Better Call Saul?
BoJack Horseman.
Okay. The Amazing World of Gumball or a regular show?
Regular show.
Alright. Teen Titans or SpongeBob?
Teen Titans.
Okay, that's okay. Johnny Test or Total Drama Island?
Johnny Test.
Okay. Okay. The Three Stooges or Pink Panther?
Pink Panther.
Okay. Alright, Nipsey Hussle or YG?
Nipsey.
Alright, okay. The Game or Ice Cube?
The Game.
Okay. Alright, Dr. Dre or Rick Rubin?
Dr. Dre.
Alright. Chester Bennington or Kurt Cobain?
Kurt Cobain.
Alright. Okay. Freddie Mercury or Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney.
Alright. Wow. Alright. Tennessee or Atlanta?
Tennessee.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Wow. Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud?
CJ Stroud.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Alright. Thinking. Wow. Alright. Kobe Bryant or Zinedine Zidane?
Kobe.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Chief Keef or Lil Durk?
Chief Keef.
Alright. Okay. King Von or G Herbo?
King Von.
Alright. Okay, that's interesting. Wow. Justin Timberlake's 2020 Experience or Miley Cyrus's Bangers?
2020 Experience.
Okay. Wow. Alright. Alright. Spider-Man Homecoming or Man of Steel?
Spider-Man.
Alright.
Homecoming.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. SZA or Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston.
Alright. Gal Gadot or Ana de Armas?
Gal Gadot.
Okay. Alright. Ooh. Wow. Thinking. Bella Ramsey or Emma Corrin?
Who?
Emma Corrin, she was part of Deadpool. She was like the villain, Deadpool Wolverine. Bella Ramsey's Ellie in Last of Us. That show.
Corn.
Alright, okay. KRS-One or Rakim?
Rakim.
Okay. Wu-Tang or NWA?
Wu-Tang.
Alright. Tribe Called Quest or Outkast?
Outkast.
Alright. Okay. Alright, thinking. Alright, French Montana or Jim Jones?
French.
Alright. Okay. Ooh. I'm thinking. Alright. Kevin De Bruyne or Andrea Pirlo?
Oh, I'm gonna go De Bruyne.
Alright, okay. Alright. Harry Kane or Alan Shearer?
Say that one again.
Harry Kane or Alan Shearer? Alan Shearer was he was considered like the greatest English striker ever before Kane came onto the scene.
Didn't he play for
Shearer played for Newcastle and Blackburn. Those were like the two main clubs he associated with back in the day.
Who I was thinking of.
Okay. All right.
Because I know I've heard of King. I'm going to go with King.
Yeah. Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin?
Ovechkin.
All right. Okay. All right. Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman?
Mookie Betts.
All right. Ohtani or Bonds?
Ohtani.
All right. Trout or Harper? I'm talking like peak.
Mike Trout.
All right. Okay. Okay. Wow. Sonic or Mario?
Mario.
Okay. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Okay. FIFA or Madden?
Madden.
All right. Last of Us or GTA?
GTA.
Okay. Rick Ross or Killer Mike?
Rick Ross.
All right. Okay. Jeremiah or Trey Songz?
Trey Songz.
All right.
Jeremiah King.
All right. Chris Brown or Usher?
Give me Chris Brown.
All right. 2 Chainz or Gucci Mane?
Like current Gucci or like
Just
rap?
peak. I'm talking like peak for peak type of thing.
Oh, Gucci, man.
All right. Okay. Rich Homie Quan or Waka Flocka Flame? I'm talking about peak.
Waka Flocka.
All right. Okay. All right. Wale or LP?
Wale.
Okay. Tupac or DMX?
Tupac.
All right. Biggie or Big L?
Biggie.
All right. Who's worse, Suge Knight or Diddy?
Diddy.
All right. Okay. All right. Patrick Ewing or David Robinson?
So who was the second one?
David Robinson. He played for the Spurs. He was like really dominant.
I know that. Oh man, I'm gonna go David Robinson.
All right. Okay. All right. Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker?
Ginobili.
All right. Wow. Okay. Okay. JID or Isaiah Rashad?
JID.
All right. Doechii or Lil Sims?
Doechii.
All right. Okay. Haley Steinfeld or Amy Adams?
Amy Adams.
All right. Okay. Ben Stiller or Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. Ryan Gosling or Jake Gyllenhaal?
Gosling.
All right. Wow. Marilyn Monroe or Audrey Hepburn?
Marilyn Monroe.
All right. Okay. Florence Pugh or Kate Winslet?
Pugh.
Alright, okay. Elizabeth Olsen or Kate Beckinsale?
Beckinsale.
Wow, okay. Taraji P. Henson or Amelia Clark?
Taraji P. Henson.
Alright, okay. Jamie Foxx or Morgan Freeman?
Jamie Foxx.
Alright. Metro Boomin or Michael Made It?
Metro Boomin.
Alright. DJ Dahi or No ID?
No ID.
Alright. 21 Savage or Denzel Curry?
Curry.
Alright. Lil Uzi Vert or Playboy Cardi?
Uzi.
Alright. Okay. Designer or Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy.
Alright. Migos or 3-6 Mafia?
3-6 Mafia.
Alright. Wow. Damn. Shampoo or conditioner?
Shampoo.
Alright, okay. Now this is the second last one. Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Alright, last one. Alright, Ridley Scott or Steven Soderbergh?
Ridley Scott.
Alright, last one. Alright, Lamborghini or Ferrari?
Lambo.
Alright, bonus one. NBA or NFL?
NFL.
Alright. Man, thanks for coming on, and it was a real honor. We got through a lot of stuff. You know, it was a while since we last spoke, and it was like last year or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Again, it's a real honor to have you on. We may not agree on most things, but I feel like, you know, we kind of like there's some chemistry with this sort of these type of conversations, you know. So yeah. For sure. I'll never thank you enough for like the first time we did this. I didn't think you would respond, but man, I want to sort of like, you know, shout you out for that. So yeah, have a nice rest of your day, and I'll let you know. Maybe, you know, end of this year we could do this again, kind of like do like a sort of a year update type of thing. So
yeah, I enjoy these, man. And I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's just like, you know, conversation, casual conversation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So see you soon. That is another episode of the Renegade Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the same way I enjoyed putting this together. See you guys later.